The California Fire Service is one of the most effective emergency response networks in the world. Each year, the demands placed on our first responders continue to grow, as does the need for training to meet each new threat. For more than 3 decades, the California Firefighter Joint Apprenticeship Committee has embraced these new challenges and used them as opportunities to create excellence in the fire service.
We are, even today, the only statewide apprenticeship program in the United States of America. And they say, well, how did you do that? How did you get that kind of cooperation? And of course, we didn't do that. The profession itself demanded it.
With creativity, determination, and a committed partnership between labor and management, the JAC is helping to build a stronger future for a proud profession.
The fire service has evolved over the years. We are an all-risk emergency response.
Since 9/11, the JAC's been addressing the issues that have been facing first responders in this new age of terrorism consequence management.
Combining subject matter expertise with modern technology, the JAC has put next-generation terrorism response training into the hands of every California firefighter.
Over the past 2 years, we had a pretty significant grant from Cal-JAC, and with that grant, we developed some online modules.
They could take that training at their leisure. If they get interrupted on a call, they can go to the call. So it keeps engine companies in quarters and lets students stay on top of the training that we were providing.
We want firefighters, adult learners, to take away things that they can actually use on the job.
What Firestar brings to that is a realism that our firefighters, our current firefighters, are expecting.
The most recent grant we received from Cal-JAC is to develop a program on response to violent incidents.
What JAC's been successful with is focusing on bringing law enforcement and fire together.
A lot of these situations require the response of many entities. It's very important that we can communicate for the safety of not only the firefighters, the responders, but also in mitigating the situation.
Developing a training program to react to these type of incidents, fire and law enforcement become better prepared and more effective at saving lives.
Throughout the training, we talk about joint command, we talk about operating together, we talk about training together, because really when it happens, we're going to have to rely on law enforcement, they're going to have to rely on us, and we just can't show up at the scene having never talked to each other.
It's been money well spent on our part, and we look forward to additional long-term partnerships for new training and enhancement of the existing training as we move forward in the next couple of years.
In addition to preparing for disasters that might happen, firefighters spent much of 2013 dealing with the all-too-real challenge of a disastrous wildland fire season. The JAC's newly updated Fighting Wildfires training program provided critical standardized training for first responders at all levels.
When you have these massive fires, you're going to have a multi-agency response, and these agencies need to work together, and so it's important that they have this standardized training.
California moves resources up and down the state better than anyone else.
If you look back where we were 25 years ago and look where we are today and see what has happened in the way California operates, in many cases as one fire department.
So it's important that we all have the same common knowledge, same skill set. The JAC provides that commonality in training.
As it worked to meet the training needs of the modern fire service, the JAC also faced a challenge in Sacramento, one that threatened its very existence. In the name of streamlining government, a proposal emerged at the Capitol that would have stripped away a dedicated funding source for apprenticeship.
If the dedicated funds were flexed, so to speak, and not designated as specifically for apprenticeship, it's likely that it wouldn't be used for that.
Worst case scenario, it could have been that all of the CDE programs would be homeless, fundless, and in a position to have to start anew.
Drawing on the legislative skill of California professional firefighters, the JAC led a 2-year fight to protect apprenticeship from future budget raids.
The CPF's role as a political and legislative body was to get involved and get active politically and legislatively. Together with the building trades, we created a documentary called Apprenticeship Works, and we premiered it at the Crest Theater to focus on what is actually happening in California around apprenticeship and how important it is not only to the fire service as it relates to emergency response, but to the building trades and to the whole state economy.
Today is really about getting the information out, and hopefully we have it structured in a methodical way where we can talk about how the current system works.
We brought all the stakeholders in California together to talk about what the issues are with apprenticeship funding.
We were able to suggest ways in which the changes could be made and preserve the educational benefits to apprenticeship.
We had letters from fire chiefs, labor presidents throughout the state asking the governor, the legislature to please save these funds.
We put pressure on legislators from the bottom and from the top, and at the end of the day, we were successful.
We drafted legislation and moved all of apprenticeship into one house. So it's at the Community College Chancellor's office. We got the dollars unflexed and dedicated for apprenticeship only.
I simply cannot overestimate the importance and significance of the contribution of the California firefighters in achieving such a good result for our current programs and hopefully those to come.
Recruitment really is at the heart of the JAC's mission, and we take that mission seriously.
The past 2 years saw the JAC continue to expand its efforts to build the fire service of tomorrow through its groundbreaking Women's Commission.
Our communities are not all male. Our communities are not all 20 to 30-year-olds. Our communities are diversified. We want the workforce to be diversified, and that includes females represented in the fire service.
Expanding on a program introduced in 2011, the Women's Commission got personally involved in mentoring potential candidates through the JAC CPAT centers.
We asked for their input. Were you physically prepared? Is there any way that we can help out? Is there anything that we can do on our end to give you an insight?
There's been a lot of one-on-one mentoring happening, and it's really proven to be a benefit specifically to the female candidates.
The CPAT centers in Livermore and Orange also hosted the annual JAC Career Expos, with a special focus on recruiting women returning from military service.
There's a lot of women who are coming out of the service. They're almost a natural fit because they have a lot of the capabilities and a lot of the qualities that the fire service demands.
In the military, we have a combat fitness test, which is somewhat similar. You do events at to full extent. We carry ammo cans, you have to run with them, lift up your buddy, and do all this stuff. So this is definitely similar to that.
They're physically fit. They have the work ethic that we're looking for. They have structure. They know what it takes to do the job that we do.
I didn't want to do the Marine Corps my whole life, so I wanted to serve a different way and help people. So this was that way for me, to be a firefighter.
The improving fortunes of many California cities also brought hiring, and that meant more people taking CPAT, the benchmark physical ability test for the fire service.
The commitment that the JAC has to the CPAT program really puts its mark on the fire service to say we're concerned about every level.
We bought a new facility, a new building, and we now have our third owned and operated CPAT center in Sacramento.
Creating opportunity for the future out of the challenges of the moment takes more than money and skill. It requires teamwork. For the JAC, teamwork means labor and management working together toward the same goal, a well-trained fire service for the 21st century.
There's so many challenges in the fire service today, from budget issues, terrorism, wildfires, and it's really the JAC's mission to hit those challenges head on.
Being a co-sponsor of the JAC has given me the opportunity to work more closely with my labor partner, having an open dialogue and dealing with the ongoing challenges that the fire service may have together.
When labor and management both get together, people listen. They say, wow, if the boss and the worker are both on the same page, this has got to be something good.
We are opening the door for more people to be successful in the fire service. And I think in the long run, we'll benefit from that immensely. And at the end of the day, the people of California benefit from that.